All right, so there's a tweet. You got to read this. The tweet says, so Lamar Jackson's a league MVP and he still hasn't broken the bank. Ravens, you're on the hot seat. Give that man the $250 million guaranteed. Someone replied to that. He wants more. Again, these are not reporters. This is just someone responding. He wants more. They already offered that. Lamar Jackson himself responded, no, they didn't. That's Lamar jumping on Twitter to give you a live update, real time, on his contract negotiations. But wait, there's more. Someone else then tweeted a photo of Lamar Jackson in a Dolphins uniform. I'll give you one guess, one of the accounts that officially liked that photo. It belongs to Lamar Jackson. So he's out there liking tweets of himself in other uniforms, and he's talking about the money they haven't offered him. I don't know everything, Graziano. I don't talk to that. Doesn't sound like a guy who was real happy with his situation.
It's not great, right? Like it's not a press conference where they're all hugging and holding up the jersey and saying he's going to be here forever. Look, I mean, the contract negotiations are tough and they can get nasty. And I mean, I think we all speak from experience. We say this, but you know, they also can work out fine, right? And so a week from now, we could be looking at a situation where they are having that press conference and everything's good. In the meantime, this looks like a guy who's getting antsy. He's put a deadline on it. Clearly, the team is not where he wants them to be, or else they would have had a deal done by now. And it looks like he's trying. I don't know. See, I don't understand. Like, Twitter is optional. Like, you don't have to go on there and interact with people and tell them what's going on with your contract negotiation. You don't have to do it.
So the fact that he chose to do so feels significant to me. Maybe it's a knee-jerk.
It feels significant to you and me. This is a generation of people that doesn't feel Twitter's optional. That feel like everything has to be done in public. So I don't
understand
know.
that.
But it speaks to one key issue that we've hit on over and over again here. He's operating without an agent. He's representing himself. And there are times when the management of this situation can really benefit from having someone who's an intermediary, right? If he's hearing these things directly from the team, that's not the best position to be in.
It's getting personal, right, Nico? And that's not a good place.
You don't want to get personal, Mike, especially with the, you know what I'm saying? You know, let's not, we won't get into the Jets stuff.
But you two have been on opposite sides of these negotiations, and having a person in between you is helpful.
It is, and he can speak on when you're dealing with just the player and then you're dealing with an agent. There's a buffer there that when you are evaluating a player and you're trying to get, both sides are trying to get the best deal for each other, there's certain things that might be offensive to a player. Like, oh, you don't think I'm that good? Look, I'm an MVP. Or look at these other guys that are making a lot more money than me, and look what they're getting paid versus what I'm getting paid. So when you don't have that agent, maybe the agent say, hey, listen, let's cool it on the tweets. Let's not get out there and like stir this up. Somebody just to give you a little advice when you're going through the struggle, because there's anxiety in the process. You're trying to get the most money that you're possibly ever going to get in life, and it's going to set you up forever. Sleepless nights. Then you're worried about staying healthy and also being the leader of the team and being the best guy on offense and carrying the torch offensively for the Ravens, which they know he has to be at his best. So it's a stressful situation that could possibly affect how he plays.
Mike T, if you're on the other side of this yet, and if you're John Harbaugh, you're the front office in Baltimore, you're trying to get this deal done, and you see this on social media last night, what does it make you think?
It's destabilizing. Nico just nailed it. It's destabilizing when your franchise quarterback doesn't have a deal and he doesn't have an agent. In 20-plus years, I hated when a player didn't have an agent for everything Nico just talked about. So to me, I would go talk to him again, try to work out the differences. We just showed that graphic, Greeny.
Yeah.
This is really about what happened in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson. $230 million fully guaranteed. This is round one of 3 heavyweight fights. Number one is Lamar Jackson. Does he get $230 million? When you talk to everyone around the league, everyone wants to know, is that the start of a new trend, Greeny, or is Cleveland just a massive outlier? Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are both extension eligible in March, and the eyes of the football world are watching closely to see what happens.
So what does this all mean? I mean, so some of us are going to sit here, we're going to look at this, and we're going to say the Dolphins have a ready-made team, plug and play a great quarterback in there, and they could win championships. Maybe Tua will be that guy this year. I'm not saying he won't. But if he's not, is Lamar Jackson already telling you where he wants to be next year?
He grew up there, right? Like, he's a South Florida kid. He probably grew up rooting for the Dolphins. Like, I can understand. Again, he's in a situation where it's not going the way he wants. He's going to be on the Ravens this year. And he's almost certain to be on the Ravens beyond this year. They can franchise him, and again, they could work out a contract. But I think, yeah, down the road, you could have fun with this. You could play. If Tua has a bad year, the Dolphins have been on the lookout for a quarterback. If Lamar's still upset, of course. I mean, that's the kind. But I think that is projecting. That is assuming based on what we see on Twitter, which is a dangerous game. I think at this point we have about a week and a half for him to do this deal, and they still might.
The only more dangerous game is asking someone to make a guess on national television, but that's what I'm going to do. The season starts in 12 days. The Ravens will actually play Joe Flacco, their former quarterback, we think, and the Jets. Will he have a new deal? Will Lamar Jackson have a new deal? What's your guess before a week from Sunday?
No, because of the guarantee structure. If I'm Lamar Jackson Greeny, I put my feet up on Mr. Bashai's desk and say, the good news for you is I don't want $5 more than Deshaun Watson, but I'm not taking a nickel less. And I think that's what's holding up the deal.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.